we're visiting one of Chicago's true gems, the historic Garfield Park Conservatory. Let's go find out what makes this place so special. And I'm with Mary Eisenbach, the Director of Conservatories at the Chicago Park District. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Would you give us a little history of the Garfield Park Conservatory?
Sure. So the Garfield Park Conservatory was built in 1908. When kind of conservatory construction was becoming more popular in cities. And this is one of two conservatories we have at the Chicago Park District. Lincoln Park Conservatory is about 1/4 the size of Garfield Park Conservatory. We're one of the biggest conservatories in the world. And we have more than 2,100 different kinds of plants in the conservatory, and we have 8 display houses that range from the desert to the beautiful palm room here.
Okay, yeah, it's stunning here, and it makes sense now to hear that the Lincoln Park Conservatory is so much smaller, because everyone talks about the Garfield Park Conservatory, and I didn't know if that was just like what I was aware of, but if it's this much bigger, I could see why it gets more recognition.
Oh, sure. As I said, we're one of the biggest in the world, so it's a pretty big wow moment when you walk in here.
Absolutely.
The Garfield Park Conservatory was the first conservatory in the world that was conceived as landscape under glass. So up until that time, conservatories were just an assortment of exotic plants in pots. But Jens Jensen, the person who designed this conservatory, conceived of the concept that you would put the plants, plant the plants like a landscape, and so it looked like the plants were here, and then we just built the glass roofs over them. So the plants in this conservatory are actually growing, the very down far roots are growing in Chicago soil.
Oh.
There is no concrete underneath these planting beds.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we have palm trees growing in Chicago soil.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
How far down are they? Well, I guess there's no bottom,
depends,
so.
Right, it depends
Yeah.
on the plant. Some plants are more shallow rooted than
Yeah.
others. But these big palms, yeah, they're down in Chicago soil.
That's amazing.
So I've been here for 18 years. I came here planning to build a project called Child Wild Exploration Garden. And as I've been here longer and longer, that construction is underway, but I've just grown to love all these plants. Plants are so cool. I mean, I've become a complete plant geek. And I wasn't before, but I am now.
Is your house filled with plants?
I have no plants in my
really?
house whatsoever.
You have enough at work.
I have enough at work. I do have an outside garden, but no house plants.
Yeah.
No. I've got 2,100 house plants right here.
It is amazing to be here, especially in the winter in Chicago when the air is so cold and frigid and everything outside is dead. It's nice to just come here and feel like you can breathe, walk around, see greenery. It's really my favorite place to go in the winter in Chicago.
Yeah, someone once said to me, it's like a free sauna.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, do you want to give us a little tour?
Happy to. The Palm House has 6 dozen different kinds of palms. And what's so beautiful about this palm house is the roof is 65 feet high. So the minute you come in, it's just this expansive space. And on a sunny day, it's amazing.
Right.
And then the other nice thing is, because all these ground covers are sort of low, it forces you to look up. And so you start looking up and you start noticing all the different palms and all the different shapes, and most importantly, you can see the trunks of all the different palms, and they're all different.
Yeah.
So people think of a palm tree like they think of a coconut palm, right, that you see on the beach. But the fact of the matter is, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So what we have all these different kinds of palms with all these different barks, and we've also designed pathways in the room so that you can get up close and personal with the palm trees, so that you experience them.
I've done that.
Okay.
Something from Dr. Seuss.
They are.
Oh,
right?
They are?
No, they're not from
okay.
Dr. Seuss, but yes, that was the intention when he put them there. Like, they're very playful.
Yeah,
you know?
they're very cute.
Yeah, yes. And yeah, like I said, that pathway goes to that palm, and I just noticed yesterday that palm, what will happen is that bark will start to shed on the lower levels and then go up and up and up. So we may have to find a different palm to
okay.
lead people to, because pretty soon it's just going to be smooth.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I mean, like, so you see that bark, you see this bark is different.
I like the little berries up in that tree.
Yeah, those are called inflorescences. That's a palm inflorescence. And they all kind of do that same thing. But look at this one with the spikes, right? It's pretty amazing. They're sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely sharp.
Yeah, I have this thing where I want to touch everything.
People will definitely notice, like recognize plants. Like this is a pretty common,
I love these guys.
Very common house plant.
I keep mine outside in the summer and then I bring them in the winter.
Right, that's what you should do. So I will tell you that the way we've designed this and the way we install plants, we encourage people to have interactions with plants, just like I touched the fan palm. We talk about one finger touch, and that's for kids. We trust adults. But so, you know, we designed this so that you could walk right up to that waterfall and touch it. It's we want people to really engage with nature in this space.
It's kind of perfect for me because I do want to touch everything.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just by nature. I don't know why.
But you know, probably not in the desert house.
Yeah, I've done that too and regretted it. So.
So we are standing in the middle of the Sugar from the Sun exhibit. And this room was built in this exhibit was built in 2008, and it is designed to teach people about photosynthesis. And so we have 4 different sections of the room. We just walked through the water section, but there's also an air section. There is a sun section where you go under the dome and look up and see the light coming through the leaves. And then we also have a sugar section where you get to see bananas and papayas and all these plants that are the result of photosynthesis. So I don't know if you noticed when you walked in, but we have a board that says all life on Earth depends on plants. And this is the reason, because photosynthesis is what creates all the energy that we use, plants and animals, to survive. So the message is very simple. Air, water, and sunlight combine to make sugar or energy, and that's what photosynthesis is. It also gives up carbon dioxide, which, of course, I mean, it uses carbon dioxide, gives off oxygen, so that it has a huge role in climate change too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It says smell. Smell that. What does it smell like? Nothing?
I can't smell
it. Might
really.
be for the flowers. It might be for the flowers.
I don't have the best sense of smell.
It's flower.
Good.
It's for the
I'm
flowers.
glad I was like,
no,
it's
not you. It's not you. Probably need to take the sign off of that.
What's the significance of these statues or sculptures?
They are actually Laredo Taft was the sculptor of these. So, Jens Jensen strongly believed in placing art in nature, and so these statues are here. We need to restore them, but they're kind of cool. Idle and Pastoral is over there.
Oh, okay, they are cool. This is the plant that comes to my house to die, so I've given up on.
Plant?
Yeah, I've tried 3 times, and we don't.
I don't think you're the only one who's lost.
Okay, good, because I don't take
carnivorous
that plant
plants
home anymore.
Yeah. So in the summertime, we have a carnivorous plant bog out in the sensory garden.
Cool.
So kids love seeing, flies in the Venus flytrap and that sort of thing.
Is this sensory garden the kids area?
No, the sensory garden is outside.
Okay.
So that's another thing that I'll talk about is that people don't know that we have 12 acres of outdoor gardens.
Yes.
So people, we have a lot of visitors during the winter, but really people should be coming here during the summer too, because it's just an oasis in Chicagoland with these incredible gardens as well. So
yeah, I've been to the outdoor gardens. It is stunning out there.
Yes.
I definitely come more in the winter, but I come in the summer too.
I mean, I feel like we're a real asset to this community because we have all this available to them. I mean, we certainly get visitors from actually all over the world, but boy, if you had this in your backyard, I'd be here frequently too.
Yes.
So this is the fern room, which is another highlight of the conservatory. Many people think that they refer to this as the gem of the conservatory. This is the room that Jens Jensen put in place to reflect prehistoric Illinois. He put a pond in the middle to increase the humidity, which it works. You can feel how humid it is in here. And it is pretty close to his original design. Now, there's no original plants in this room, but these walls are historic. These rock walls they're pieces of art, really, and they are historically protected. So
Where did these walls come from?
They made them. They made them. They formed them. So, because you don't have this natively in this area in Illinois. And like the waterfall, they made this waterfall. Jens Jensen told the Masons that he wanted it to sound like Mendelssohn's Spring Song.
Oh.
It doesn't anymore, but it's still lovely and soothing. And what's really cool is you can see this waterfall. If you turn around and look back, you can see this waterfall all the way to the front desk.
Oh.
So when you walk in the Palm House, you can look across these ponds and see the waterfall. So it's one of 8 water features we have here in the conservatory.
Coming here in the winter, like even just aside from breathing the air, you feel so much better when you leave.
Yeah. Yes, that's our goal, right? Our goal is to have our visitors see the world differently when they walk out the door. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, when I leave sometimes, I'll try to focus on every little, I'll look at the grass and I'll try to see how many blades of grass can I see, just because it's so relaxing to do that. So, you know, right here, you can see probably 7 or 8 different kinds of ferns, right? If you take the time to really pay attention. So, yeah, it's really cool.
The new one.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Yep. Yeah, they are, they're beautiful. Just the fronds are just beautiful. So this is kind of a cool little factoid. This cycad and that cycad across the way are more than 300 years old.
Oh my God.
So they were acquired by the conservatory when they were a little over 200 years old by a New Jersey collector. And so you can see how slowly they grow.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are definitely the oldest plants in the conservatory, and likely the plants that are, they're not original to the conservatory, but they are the closest. So there's a male and a female, and you can see right next to it there's a pup, right? So these are called pups.
The little one.
Yeah, the smaller, the offspring. And then oftentimes we'll trade the pups to another institution for plant material that we don't have. So we have relationships with botanical gardens and conservatories to do that. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Are the people that you said that come here from all over the world, is it because the conservatory is so renowned in the horticultural world?
Yes, and I think there are people who just love plants and want to visit various collections.
Right.
So that's generally the kind of people we find, and then probably during the winter, people who just want to get out of Chicago winter.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're in the Desert House. We have more than 700 different kinds of plants in the Desert House. We have cacti, euphorbia, etc. And the key thing with this house is don't touch any of the plants.
Yes.
Because they might have spines that you don't see.
Yes.
That I can speak from experience.
Same.
You find out they have spines.
I have touched some smooth looking plants in here and regretted it.
Yeah, exactly. So when I first came here, I thought this room was kind of boring. I'm not a desert landscape person. And then I had an assignment where I had to start sending flower photos to the Chicago Tribune, and I found myself in this room a lot. And the reason is because the flowers are so different and so weird. Right? So like these flowers, right? These guys are so different from these guys, are so different from that flower right there.
The monk's hood?
Right there, yeah.
Oh yeah.
See it?
Yes. Yeah.
So
the coloring on this is amazing.
yeah, isn't it beautiful? It's just beautiful. And it's so what's so interesting is the weirdness of all these plants are just adaptations to the incredible harsh environments that they grow in. So these plants have developed all these defensive mechanisms in order to survive. One of the best flowers though that we have in this house, not right now, are the agaves, and when the agaves spike, it's quite an event here. A few years ago, we had our century plant, our agave, spike, and the spike was so tall that we had to take glass out of the roof in order to let it finish spiking. So when you went outside, it looked like there was a little tree growing out of the roof. But it's really cool. We really kind of live for those agave spikes. Everybody wants us to make mezcal out of them, but of course, once they spike, all the sugar's gone. So, and then the plant dies, because that's the plant world. They usually put out pups as well, and so then we have the pups.
Yeah, I love it in here. It's also amazing to see these plants in the wild too. Like you're just in this arid landscape, and then there's a colorful flower.
Yes.
And everything else is like, well, there's other pretty colors. There's like teal colors out there too, but there's a lot of like red and dust, and then you're seeing like coral flowers, orange flowers.
Yes.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and what's interesting, like it's a little different than in this room, because out in that landscape, they're pretty sparse, the plants, right? In here, we've got it loaded pretty full because we just want everybody to get to see as many different kinds of plants as they can. In 2001, the conservatory hosted the first Chihuly show that was located in a botanic setting, and it was a huge hit. It was a huge hit and introduced a lot of people in Chicago that had never been to the conservatory to this place. And a group of citizens, supporters got together to purchase this particular piece, which was designed exactly for this space.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
Yeah, so we have it on permanent display now.
I would have loved to see that. I was 10. Probably,
oh yeah, it was amazing. It's the first time I had ever been to the conservatory.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was stunning.
So cool. Well, Mary, this was so interesting. Thank you so much for having me. I come here by myself just for fun, and it feels really special to be able to get a private tour and find out all of this behind the scenes information. I really appreciate your time.
And I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Thanks.